Hi, it's Greg, and today let's see how to fully and simply A/B test a HubSpot workflow. For every marketer, we all know that finding the perfect asset in the first time is really complicated and really hard. That's why we came up with a solution named A/B testing. The concept is to compare two versions of a similar asset to see which one is more efficient. Of course, HubSpot, as a leader of marketing industry, create a lot of tools to help us A/B test a lot of our marketing assets. But there is one issue: they didn't let us the possibility to A/B test workflow. By workflow, I mean every automation and also every automated email campaign, for instance. So basically, you will be able to test every single emails of a workflow, but you will not be able to test different paths. Let's say, I want to see if one daily email is more efficient than one weekly email. You will not be able to do so. Fortunately, I came up with a workaround that I will present you right now, and at the end of the video, you will be able to test 100% of your HubSpot automation. So before getting into it, let's see the different A/B tests HubSpot let us do natively. So the first one is emails. Whether it's regular or automated, HubSpot allows us to A/B test our email content by weighting the A/B distribution and setting a test time for regular emails. Thanks to this tool, we will be able to improve our opening rate, our engagement rate, or the conversion rate by modifying the CTA, for instance. The second asset HubSpot let us test is website pages and landing pages. In the same basis of an email, HubSpot will let us create two different versions of a page on your site to offer to your visitor audience. The third asset is CTA, so call to action. You will be able to create several variations of some CTA to measure its effectiveness. HubSpot make it possible to A/B test forms as well. So it's a bit different because you don't have the A/B menu on your form editor, but as we can A/B test landing pages and website pages, for instance, you can, for version A, put form 1, and for version B, put form 2. So you don't basically have this menu inside of your HubSpot, but you can still make it happen by testing different forms on different versions of landing pages. And the last asset I would like to talk about today is list. It's not A/B testing properly speaking, but this feature allows us to distribute the lead of a list as desired into several static lists. So this tool will be super useful for our first method, the one-shot method. And now that we explore the different A/B testing possibilities in HubSpot, we realize that testing workflows is not an option. So now I will show you two methods to make it happen. The first one is the one-shot method that will apply for frozen in time campaigns. And the second one is for 100% of your automation, even continuous nurturing campaigns. So the one-shot method, as I said, is for campaigns that are frozen in time. Let's say like you want to make the promotion of a webinar next month. You will have a defined audience that you will enroll in nurturing workflows that will promote your webinar until the date of the webinar. This is easy to A/B test because you don't have a continuous flow of lead entering this workflow. You just have a list that will be the trigger enrollment of this workflow. As I mentioned before, we can use the new feature, which is split list on your list, to make it happen. So imagine you want to test two different versions of your webinar promotion. The first one is one daily email for 5 days, and the second one is 3 weekly email. So the concept is really easy. You just need to create two workflows, and each workflow will be enrolled with a specific list. The first workflow you will create will be the daily email one. So you can like put email 1, wait 1 day, email 2, wait 1 day, times 5. And for the second workflow, you will just have the weekly one, which is email 1, wait 7 days, email 2, wait 7 days, email 3. And now you just need to create the list that will be the enrollment triggers of those two workflows. How to do so? You just go to your contact tab, click on list, and you will find the list you already have created that will be the audience of your webinar promotion. So let's say all the qualified leads of this specific city or this specific country, for instance. Click on your list, click on actions, and click on the split list option. Then you will just need to weight the list as you want and click on save. Now you have two lists. The first list is for workflow A, the second list is for workflow B. And by setting these two lists as an enrollment trigger for these two workflows, you will be able to test different paths. Be careful, even if you use the same email communication for the two paths, it's important to duplicate the mail to have a different version for the workflow A and the workflow B. Because at the end, I will show you how to draw a conclusion of your test, and if you have the same mail for the two paths, you will not be able to analyze the results. And now that we saw how to A/B test frozen in time campaign in HubSpot, let's see now how to A/B test 100% of your automation in HubSpot. So our first method adds some limitation because it only applies for automation that have predefined audience. But let's say maybe you want to test different nurturing paths, let's say for all the new qualified leads that are entering in your database. So it's like a continuous flow of leads. You want to be able to define the best path. We can make it by using a similar technique that I presented on my video on how to automate your lead assignment without paying for Sales Pro. We will just use a property in HubSpot that have a random value generation. So in this previous video, I used a record ID property, but today let's make it even simpler and use the last digit of a phone number of someone. Phone numbers are generated randomly, so you have like 10% chance that your last digit will be 0, 10% chance it will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You got it. Each digit represents 10% chance of being generated. So if you take your entire database, you can easily segment equally your database based on that last digit. So now that we discover that we can use the last digit of a phone number to segment equally or weightedly all our database, it's really easy to create a A/B test within one single workflow. Is it a bit confusing? It's fine. Let's see step by step how to make it happen. The first thing you need to do is to create a new workflow, choose start from scratch based on contact. As an enrollment triggers, you will choose what suits your situation. So let's say you want to create a workflow that is a nurturing campaign for all your new marketing qualified leads. You will choose lifecycle stage equal marketing qualified leads. But basically you can adapt these enrollment triggers to the situation you want to test, of course. So to make it easier, let's take a concrete example. We take the first example of one path is 5 daily emails and second path is 3 weekly emails. To make it a bit more challenging, I want to put 40% of my database on the daily email path and 60% on my weekly path. So how to do so? We just click on the plus, choose event branch, and this event branch will be the setup of our A/B testing. So the first branch will be our daily email path and will represent 40% of our database, of all the leads that will be enrolled in this workflow. So for this branch, I will choose contact property, phone number is ending with number 0, 1, 2, 3. There is 4 digits in this example, so each digit is 10%, so it represents 40%. And on the second branch, I will choose the weekly email, so 60% of my database, and I will put phone number is ending with 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 6 digits, 60%. I just click on save, and what we have here, we have an event branch that will automatically weight our leads incoming, 40% on the left and 60% on the right, based on their phone number. And now the only thing we need to do is to create our 2 different paths under each branch. So on the left, I will put email, wait 1 day, email, wait 1 day, time 5. And on the right, I will put email, wait 7 days, email, wait 7 days, email. And once activated, the workflow will automatically distribute the different lead incoming into the different paths to realize your A/B testing. Be careful, same thing as the one-shot method. If you use the same communication, please take the time to duplicate every email to have a unique version for path A and a unique version for path B to be able to analyze the result, and it's what we will do now. Basically, now we have seen the 2 different ways to create 2 fairly distributed paths for a specific automation, but we still don't know how to get the result and draw conclusions. To do so, that's why it's important to have created different email versions. You will create a HubSpot campaign for path A and a HubSpot campaign for path B. Let's say webinar promotion workflow A, that's the name of one campaign, and webinar promotion workflow B is the name of the second campaign. Under each campaign, you will put all the assets that you use for a specific path. Webinar promotion workflow A, you will put email 1 workflow A, email 2 workflow A, email 3 workflow A, etc., etc. Then you will have 2 different campaigns that will gather all the result of all the assets you put in it, and you just need to compare the 2 campaigns to see what is the winner of this test. I hope this video was clear enough. I take a lot of pleasure to try to find workaround the limitations of HubSpot software. If you like this video, don't forget to put a thumbs up and to subscribe to the channel, it will help me a lot. And if you want to go deeper in your HubSpot understanding, I put a link in the description below that will redirect you to a short form. After this short form, you will find a private web page I created named the workflow box. In this workflow box page, you will find all the different workflows I presented on my channel. And for every workflow, you will find a description, a tutorial video like the one you're seeing right now, a detailed blog post that will give you much more context about this workflow and its use, and an action plan in the form of a to-do list that will help you step by step putting this workflow in your portal. It was Greg, I wish you a great day and see you next week.